Hello guys, I thought we'd take a little break from computers with this video and take a look at this radio that I actually found discarded in the garbage this morning back in the alley. Now, I know I usually do computer stuff, but the name of the channel and blog is Ancient Electronics, so although I really focus on computers, every once in a while we'll go on a little tangent here with something else. But yeah, I was throwing garbage away and I spotted this thing in the dumpster, just out of reach. And my first thought is, well, it's one of those, reproduction things they make that looks older or something like that, because who's going to throw away, like an old, super old radio? And then the back panel is off and I noticed vacuum tubes. So I was like, oh yeah, and I reached in and pulled. I'm not above doing a little dumpster diving when there's something cool that can be had. And I brought it back, and yeah, I mean, it's definitely in not so great shape, but it actually works. I plugged it in and turned it on, and it worked, barely. The audio is barely audible. So I mean, I wanted kind of a vacuum tube radio for a while. Now, total disclaimer here, I know nothing about radios. I'm not an authority on radios. I don't know anything about them. So actually, I'm hoping maybe someone can help me out here with with a couple questions, I guess. I'd love to get this thing restored. I mean, not like professionally restored, or, varnished or whatever they do. I just don't want to drop a couple hundred on it, but I would like to get this thing like in working condition. I don't know what the issue is with the volume being so low. I don't know if it's just a vacuum tube replacement or not. I mean, believe it or not, I come across vacuum tubes sort of often at garage sales and stuff around here. As far as I know, they still make them. I know they have some uses, I believe. They're resistant to electromagnetic pulse. Someone told me once they even use them in satellites because they are resistant to electromagnetic pulses and whatnot. So the vacuum tubes shouldn't be hard to find, but I'd like to get this thing working again. It is a Stromberg Carlson. Now, from what research I found, they did make like telephones and radios in that time period. One thing it wrote, I didn't do a lot of research on this, but they were acquired by GM, I think, in 1955. And it says they stopped making radios, but here's a question I'll have in a minute here, something that'll pop. Now, these are plastic. You'd think, they wouldn't be plastic for something that old, but believe it or not, plastic's been around for a while. I believe the first easily made or commercially available plastic was developed in 1907, so it's not too out of the question that it's plastic, but this is real thick wood. Now, here's the thing. Now, there's a sticker, or a thing back down here, and this is a model 400H. I looked up online, and 400H does look like this. Now, the thing that throws me off is down here. It has, that's Form 1972. So I was thinking that was a date of 1972. Because everything I've looked up on this says this radio was manufactured between 1939 and 1940, this particular model. So what was throwing me off is, I thought that was the date, but I think that's just the form. So yeah, well, with that question out of the way, yeah, I believe this is like a 1939, 1940 radio, which is cool. I thought 1972 was a little bit late for vacuum tubes, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, I just briefly had glanced at that sticker, so I was like, is that the year, or I guess that's just the form number. So I think I'm gonna plug this in and just show you real quick what it does that it's working. I know that's usually seen as a big no-no with electronics that you're not sure about, or electronics that are iffy. Shouldn't plug them in, but I have a really bad habit of just doing that, just plugging them in, seeing what happens. Let me show you the plug. There's the plug there. It is. That's definitely plastic. I have an older style plug. It doesn't have the grounding. But yeah, here's the dial. So this one's the dial. This one is the power and this one's the volume. The volume's all the way up right now. So let's plug it in. Alright, so this did work the last time I turned it on. You barely audible, but it was functioning. So it is going to take a second to warm up, because that's the thing with vacuum tubes. They take a second to warm up. So let's hit the power here. There's no light in here. I think maybe there once was a light that this lit up. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into that. That would make a little bit of sense, but there's no light. Okay, so it's on. Okay. Now I can hear the hum. There we go.
So, the day after Israel declared its independence on May the 14th of 1948, six nations
and so they're talking about 1948. It's not so bad. The volume's not terrible, but it's not good. And obviously it's not looking great back in there. So I think I know somebody. I actually met someone not too long ago. So I sold a computer to them, and they actually told me that they worked on like World War II military radios. So maybe I'll shoot that guy an email. Maybe he could, give me some pointers or whatever on this thing. Let me... Oh yeah, so you can see the vacuum tube there lighting up. These other ones aren't lighting up. But I don't know if that's normal or whatnot. Like I said, I don't know anything about this, like vacuum tube technology or radios in general. But I think this is pretty cool for a dumpster find. I mean, who throws away, a radio from 1940? Like, who finds a 1940s, 1939 radio in the dumpster these days? It's just weird, but it's cool. I've wanted a vacuum tube radio for a long time, just for the novelty, I guess. But yeah, pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have anything, comments or anything, like I said, I know nothing about old radios. I just think it's kind of cool. So if you have any pointers, tips on restoration or anything, make a note in the comments. Thank you all for watching.